Hey guys, welcome back to Business Class. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk you through the exact financial systems that you need in your business to get full financial clarity, have confidence around your finances, know exactly what's going on in terms of your cash flow, and understand your numbers so that you can make confident, strategic decisions. So, in your business, a lot of the time, people will typically have good systems now. Back in the past, it was a case of, business owners had paper. I don't have any paper here to hold up, but paper, receipts, a paper ledger. They'd be tracking income and expenditure. They'd have their financial goals, maybe in the front of a journal like this, but they wouldn't have any financial goals listed anywhere else. Now that's a big problem, because if you've got paper-based records, you have no ability to set where you're going and then measure your progress along the way. We step forward to 2022, most people, especially within the wellness industry, health and fitness entrepreneurs, are very tech savvy. So you'll typically find most business owners have online accounting. You may have this. They've set that up because they've seen the advert online, or I know that QuickBooks advertise at the football. All these great advertisements that talk about, you've got real-time information, you can snap a picture and your receipts are in your accounts, you can push one button and your VAT return is filed. Okay, but here's the big problem with this. Let's assume that you've got online accounting. 99.9% of the people that I speak to, they do not have their systems set up correctly, and they're not using them in the way that they're intended. So this basically means that you've got this real-time accounting system, but it's not real-time because your numbers are never up to date, they're inaccurate, you haven't got the right account codes, and you haven't set the system up in the correct way. Therefore, you can't get the information out you need, and you don't really know how to use it. So it was set up initially with good intention, but most people, they're not actually using it. So I'm going to talk you through what systems you should have, and also how should you set those up. So the reason we're doing this, the reason we're having systems, is so that we can have up-to-date information. So the first step you need to take is to stop doing your own bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is effectively telling the online system, when it pulls the bank statements through, this is a coffee, this is income, this is a trip to Dubai, this is this, this is this. That's bookkeeping. It's telling the system what that transaction means and where it should code it in your accounts. Now, I'd imagine, let's take the example of a fitness coach, an amazing fitness coach. You're building your business skills. You are not a bookkeeper and you are not an accountant, okay? So stop believing the software companies when they tell you you can do this on your own. You can't. You don't have the expertise, the qualification, the capability. Just stop doing your own bookkeeping and spend that time either delivering better value to your clients, developing and innovating your products, or conducting marketing and sales activities, or leading your team. Those are the spaces where you should be as a business owner. So get a team to do your bookkeeping for you and have it done every single week. Take the time out of your diary each week to respond to their questions. Like, block out some time each week. They're going to go through 50 to 100 transactions and they're going to start coding them. But let's say they've got 5, 10 or 15 transactions where they don't really understand what they are. They don't understand the name of the supplier. They can't find them anywhere on Google. They don't have a receipt. If you don't make yourself available just for a small period of time to have some dialogue each week, those, what we call unreconciled or unexplained transactions, will build up and build up and build up. And again, your numbers in this real-time system are not real-time because they're not accurate, and you've got this big stack of unreconciled transactions. So step one is to have an external team doing your bookkeeping. Step two is to diarize some time each week to work with that team and build a relationship. Okay, but what systems should you have? Well, in my opinion, you should have Xero. I'll do a video on this in the future, Xero versus QuickBooks versus Free Agent versus Sage. We use Xero because it's easy to use. It's built for the client in mind. It's not some massive big software company that have decided to do accounting. QuickBooks, for example, is a massive, massive company, way bigger than Xero. But it also means that sometimes they lose touch, in my opinion, with what the product actually should be. They lose touch with their audience. Xero has always been, for me, the best platform in order to get your numbers up to date easily, but then also to get the reporting out that you need to get those reports. And I'll talk about that in a future video. What are those reports that you can make decisions? And you don't even have to plug in any other reporting apps. You can get some amazing reports out of Xero. The other thing is there's a couple of kind of tricks that your bookkeepers can use to code transactions much more quickly and to automate the coding of transactions, which means your bookkeeping fee will be lower with Xero. So Xero, Xero, check it out. I'll put the links in the description. That, in my opinion, should be your accounting system. Second system you need is something to manage your receipts. Even if you're not VAT registered, if you're watching this in the UK and you don't have to keep track of your receipts, my recommendation would be to do it anyway. Why not create habits now such that when you hit the VAT threshold, which is around about £85,000, you already are in the habit of keeping those receipts. I saw a video from Alex Hormozy. He talks about putting sunscreen on. He spent years trying to work out how to get a habit created so he can put sunscreen on. Eventually he realized, if I put the sunscreen near my coffee machine, on my coffee machine, it forces me to put the sunscreen on and remind me, because every morning I will always remember to have a coffee. So you need to create good habits. If you start right from the start of your business, even if you don't have to, using Dext, so there's a little app on your phone, you can grab the app. What you can do is take a picture of your receipts. It will actually scan all the information from the receipt. It will send it into its system. Your bookkeeper can pick that up and just double check it's coded everything correctly, hit a button and sends it into Xero. So what your bookkeeper's then going to do in Xero is going to match, let's say it's a coffee. Receipt comes in from Costa. You get the receipt, you take a picture. Dex scans it, it says Costa, £2.40 for a coffee, 40 pence of VAT, puts it to what we call subsistence, which is a tax deductible code, sends it into Xero. Well, your bookkeeper sends it into Xero. The bank statement line comes in, which says £2.40, and the receipt is automatically matched by Xero. It says, do you want to match this receipt to this bank statement line? You hit OK. They've got a really cool video. I'm just using my hands. And it saves time. Now, if you ever have an investigation from the taxman, if you ever need to go back and get that receipt, I had a laptop, had a problem with it, couldn't find the receipt anywhere in normal circumstances, but because I'd used this system, I just went into Xero, search Apple, hit a date range, pulled up the receipt, printed it out, sent or PDF'd it, sent it to the store, got a new laptop. Easy. Otherwise, where are you storing your receipts? Dropbox maybe? A drawer? Somewhere else? So it's also file storage, but it's best practice. Everything that comes in on the bank statement line, almost everything, should be matched to a receipt. The only things that shouldn't will be, payroll payments, things of that nature. Okay, so we've got Xero for accounting. We've got Dext flowing in all of your receipts. What other systems might you use? Now, using the online coach example, we're always recommending to our clients to take an initial upfront payment when you've sold your client on the phone. You can do that via Stripe and take their card details, or you can WhatsApp them a link. They go and click the link and they do it while they're on the phone, or you can do it with Go Cardless. But for all payments moving forward, regular payments, what we're recommending in the UK at least is to use Go Cardless because it's cheaper. It's really robust. We've used it personally for 10 years. We use it with all of our clients. You can set up a variable direct debit, which means that if you increase the price of your services in the future, you don't have to reset up another direct debit. So it's basically a direct debit system. Again, I'll put all the links in the video. You can go and check them out. I don't get anything from recommending Xero or Go Cardless or these other systems. I'm genuinely in this video just recommending what I think you should have. This is not an affiliate marketing scheme video. These are the systems that I use in my business and I use with all of my clients. And then the last thing, if you want to take it to the next level, is make sure you have some form of reporting system. So with most of our clients, we use a system called Fathom. We set up customized reports for their industry, and that allows them to look at their numbers in a way that they understand. We have a page just based on key performance indicators. We have a page that graphically shows here was their original financial goal line. They want to go from here to here. Here's how they're doing, and here's how we've course corrected. We also have a cash flow forecast page, which shows here's how much cash we've got. Here are our tax bills coming up. Here's how much of that cash is actually ours. Simple and easy reports to understand that get delivered to our clients every month or every quarter. They have a quick scan, read through, and then we actually jump on Zoom with them and we take them through a management accounts meeting where we go through our findings from reviewing the data. We discuss and agree actions for the next month or next 90 days to improve the numbers even further, and then we move forward. So one of the things from these systems that's a big mistake is you have the system in place, it has so much critical data that you should be looking at, it has the dashboards, it has the scoreboards that are going to tell you in your business where are the risks and where are the opportunities, but most people are just not using it. So to recap, the systems I'm recommending are Dext for receipt management, Xero for your overall accounting system, Fathom for creating really nice performance reports. Have an external finance team do your bookkeeping, have it done every single week, create time in your diary to have dialogue with them, make sure they're industry specific. We have qualified accountants doing bookkeeping, not bookkeepers, because I don't really think bookkeepers are qualified to do higher level entries, which you may as well do each week, each month, each quarter, instead of a bookkeeper doing what they think, and then at the end of the year, the accountant comes in and changes everything anyway. You'd rather have it done correctly in the first place, okay? If you're a bookkeeper and you disagree with me, please hit me up in the comments. Then you want to have certain habits in place. So review the financial reports weekly, monthly, quarterly. Use the system as it's intended. Download the mobile apps. Okay, and then for payments, ideally take an upfront payment using Stripe and a payment page, and then take all of your regular payments from your client using a pre-authorized direct debit from Go Cardless. So these are the main financial systems, guys, that I'm recommending. Not super complex. I'm not saying you can use QuickBooks, you can use Sage, you can use this. Xero, Dext, Fathom, for me, are the ones. Now, if you want to do financial planning and financial goal setting, financial forecasts, and just playing around looking at, well, if I take on this many more clients, when will I need to get another member of staff? What does my cash flow look like? When can I afford to do X, Y, and Z? All of this forecasting, all of this budgeting, all of this planning, we do it in Google Sheets. So the reason we use Google Sheets is we don't need a software system to replace the Google Sheet. It works fine. In terms of taking the actual financial data from Xero and getting it into the Google Sheet, we can set up an export-import routine, which takes about 5 minutes. I don't need to replace Google Sheets with software. I've tried to do it for 10 years and eventually given up. There is not a piece of software out there, in my opinion, for forecasting what's going to happen in the future that is better than a Google Sheet. So we have a template that we use with our clients that sets out their original goals or their budget. Say we're 6 months into the year and actually things are turning out really different. We're way behind budget or we're way ahead. We have a different set of predictive numbers called a forecast. So the difference between a budget and a forecast, I'll cover this in detail in a financial planning video, but essentially the budget, you do it at the start of the year and it stays fixed. The forecast can be changed anytime you like through the year based on your current knowledge. Okay, so if you end up hiring 3 more staff than you budgeted for because you've exceeded your sales targets, that would be reflected in your forecast, but it wouldn't be reflected in your budget. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Our Google Sheet allows us to budget for the year. It allows us to compare our actual financial results to our budget, and it allows myself and my senior team to sit down every month and go through and update the forecast based on what we think is likely to happen. And then here's a really cool thing. We can predict that out for the rest of the year, and we can say, okay, our original budget target was 3 million in sales. We're actually only forecasting 2.5 because we have some roadblocks here, here, and here. Now, our projects, when we work on the business, in our business plan, will be built around the reasons why we're at 2.5, not 3 million as a prediction for the year. And so because we're forecasting to be at 2.5, and this applies if you're at forecasting 30,000 for the year or 25,000 for the year, if you're forecasting lower, you should reduce the amount you spend. You shouldn't spend on budget. And so all of this complex, not complex to understand, but complex higher level financial analysis just happens in a Google Sheet. Awesome, because we can hit comment at people. I can go to my team who all have individual responsibilities for different lines in the financial plan and say, hey, staffing cost has gone to 35% of income. Our budget is 25%. Can we jump on a quick call and discuss this at Yasser or at Aziz, for example? So Google Sheets, definitely the one for sure. We use the whole Google suite, Google Drive to house everything. Gmail, which is awesome, and Google Sheets and Google Docs for all our internal stuff. So I hope today's video and business class, I think we're episode 3 actually, not 2, I might have said 2 at the start, was useful. Now you know the exact systems that we use with our clients, from 0 in sales right up to 10 to 15 million in sales for our biggest clients. We don't do anything different, guys. If you have any comments, please hit me up, ask me questions. More than happy to answer those. I will answer those personally. And I will see you in the next episode of Business Class.